give Smalls one after her Blues last night. Oh, my God.
And let me tell you something. After the first period, Blues up 2-0, I was like,
you're flying. Oh, here we go. Next round. Book tickets.
I almost thought
go
to myself,
Vivid Seats. Where are we going?
I can go to bed early. They got this in the bag.
And then I touched some money.
I stayed up late and I watched it. And it was, I think maybe that was my mistake. I should have just slept with confidence or pivoted over to the NBA because I was going back and forth. I should have just stuck over there and let the energy stay with the game last night. But.
For those who are unaware, 3-1 St. Louis Blues had the lead in the playoffs, Game 7. Winnipeg Jets scored 2 goals in the final 2 minutes, including with 3 seconds to go, and then they win in double overtime to eliminate Smalls' St. Louis Blues. Gloria has been played all show already. That's their theme song when they won the Cup a few years ago. So the Rockets get eliminated. Warriors go on to the next round, 103-89. They beat Houston. We're all pumped up for the Rockets. I'm sorry, for the Warriors and the Wolves. Those games will be at about 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll have them for you on ESPN Radio. And we're going to get to the Cavs and the Pacers in a second. But Houston becomes a very juicy team when we're diving into the offseason because they have a lot of really good young players. They have a phenomenal head coach. And we asked the question as to what's next. What would you guys do? If you're the Rockets right now, do you trade for a star? Because they're one of these teams that over the next 2 or 3 months prior to football, one of the biggest teams in sports we could talk about may actually be the Houston Rockets. Mm-hmm. What do you do if you're them?
They got to trade for a star because the biggest thing that stood out to me in this series is that they didn't have a closer. They didn't have anybody that they could trust in those big moments. You saw after Şengün had the meltdown a couple of nights ago that Fred VanVleet tried to step up and be the one to shoulder that responsibility. And, you know, as good an effort as he put forth, he's just not that guy. They need one of those young guys to step up and play better, and it just didn't happen in this particular series. You saw Jalen Green. He was a no-show. In 6 of the 7 games that they played, he was held to 12 points or less. 4 of those games were in single digits. That's the Houston Rockets' leading scorer in the regular season. There's no way that you're going to have a chance to beat the Golden State Warriors if this dude pulls a no-show. So to me, it's about being able to package players and picks and try to go after a star, Giannis. I know Kendrick Perkins has thrown out Kevin Durant in terms of being able to add some more perimeter shooting, as well as the ability to be able to close. I think they've got to make a move. Usually I'm all for teams letting it bake when it comes to young players, and you got 3 stars in Amen Thompson and Jalen Green and Alfred Şengün who are 23 years old or younger. But I think that Houston can't take this opportunity for granted. The runway is never as long as you think it is in terms of the opportunity to contend for a championship. I think they've got to have some urgency in terms of trying to microwave this thing to put this team over the top.
I totally agree. Now's the time to strike. And everything you just outlined makes this a desirable destination for one of those stars. To know that you could go somewhere where the team is a playoff team, they have this young group of players, they have a coach that you have trust in to get you there. It's Houston. It's a good place to go. So if I'm the organization, why wouldn't I be out there pursuing one of these big stars and trying to maximize on what I've already built?
So what if, hypothetically, Oklahoma City wins it all this year? And why do I bring that up? They would have been living proof of just staying with it, adding all the lottery picks, adding all the young players, and hoping someone emerges as that closer. If Oklahoma City wins it all, there's kind of proof of concept of the way in which Houston is built. Would that change your mindset at all? Because I'm looking at this and I'm wondering how come Emmett Thompson can't be that
Oklahoma
guy.
City has a closer, though.
In Shea.
Yeah.
Right, but Shea, no, that was by way of trade.
And Shea is 26 years old.
Yeah, and Thompson can't be that?
No, not yet.
Well, not yet, but I'm saying, like, if you think about this, so they have the Phoenix pick this year, which is a lottery pick.
Yes.
So you're adding another. They have Reed Shepherd, who was a top 5 pick last year, doesn't play.
Yes.
Now maybe he becomes great. I don't know. It feels like he's either going to be great or why did they pick him in the top 5? It doesn't feel like there's going to be much in between right now.
Yeah.
But they have multiple picks.
Jabari
here.
Smith, he needs to play more.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's going to happen in Houston. So he would be a piece that you could look to potentially move off. Cam Whitmore, Jalen Green. I know you can't wait to trade Jalen Green.
No, he's a 6th man.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what he is, and that's not an insult.
So I think those are probably the 3 players, if you're Houston, that you'd be willing to part with in order to bring back a guy that's a bona fide superstar that you trust in those clutch moments, final 5 minutes of the game with the score being close 5 points or less. So I think that's That's what you look for. And I think that KD or Giannis would both fit in terms of what Houston would do. Now, obviously, if you're Houston, you want the better of the two players, and right now that's Giannis. But, yeah, I think it's time for the Rockets to get aggressive. You got the coach. You know Ime Udoka can get this team to where they want to go. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of being able to have that superstar that you can trust in those consequential moments. And right now it's clear they ain't got that.
All right, let me pose a hypothetical. I believe that Houston gets Phoenix's pick without protections, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's without protections, correct.
So let's just say they get the number 1 pick in the draft, just for argument's sake. Would you rather Cooper Flag or use that to get Giannis?
Ooh, that is.
And by the way, apply that.
I think I'd go Cooper Flag.
I don't know if I could do that.
Apply that to every team that you deem in the lottery to be competitive, i.e. San Antonio.
I don't know if I can do that.
Okay.
I don't think there's a player on that team that I wouldn't give you before I give you the number 1 overall pick.
But think about it this way.
I don't think there's a player on the Rockets that I would hold on to in lieu of the potential of Cooper Flag. I realize Cooper Flag ain't done a damn thing in the NBA.
But, man.
And I don't want to disrespect players that are already in the league. But the upside for Cooper Flag, I don't know if I can pass on that, boss.
Not only from a physical standpoint, but that mentality he has, that he just seems like...
You had me, Evan. I understand how tough it is, what you're saying.
Well, hold on. Let me go further on this. I still don't believe Giannis is getting traded. I'll believe it when I see it. But let's just say if you're Milwaukee, you think there's a chance he knocks on your door and says it's time, okay? And I think if that happens, they would abide based on the love affair that the two parties have, right? I think that would be as healthy of an ask-out as we've ever seen. There's your move if you're Milwaukee.
Oof.
Go get the number 1 pick in the draft, because even though you won't be a better team, you mask not having a megastar. Because there are teams in the lottery this year, hypothetically, if they get the number 1 pick, that think they're competitive right away. For example, Philadelphia, right? San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. I'm just assuming there's no protections on these. I could be wrong on some of these. Atlanta, Chicago. Like, these are teams that are right now in the lottery. We have to double check on the protections. I'm just saying, if you're Milwaukee, that's your trade for Giannis. Cooper Flag. That's where you start. All right, San Antonio, you got the number 1 pick. All right, Pop. Not coaching anymore. Icon in the sport. Giannis for Cooper Flag and Steph Castle. Come on over.
Oof.
That's what I'm asking for. This is Giannis. All right, Houston, you got the number 1 pick in the draft. Yep, we want Cooper Flag. We want Jabari Smith too. You're gonna keep Jalen Green.
See, I think it's a proposition. It's an either or. Like if Giannis doesn't want to go, if Giannis doesn't want to be there, I think you have to try to acquiesce and facilitate him getting to where he wants to go. Milwaukee can ask for whatever they want.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're going to get a Steph Castle Rookie of the Year and the number 1 overall pick.
That's what I'm asking for.
You can ask for it. I don't know that you're going to get it. People in hell can ask for ice water. I don't think they're going to get it.
Yeah, but the San Antonio Spurs in that spot would have De'Aaron Fox, Giannis, and Wemby.
Wow.
Wouldn't give up any of the other guys. Devin Vassell. Sohan. I'm just saying, the Rockets would then have the 3 guys you said you can't get rid of are who? Şengün,